Back again with a new name, new vibe, all of this, and more time to do this shit for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Justin here with MC Mark. You heard us on BlkPrint last week, which we hadn't planned on because, of course, as we explained in the last episode of BlkPrint, we didn't know we were going to be doing the show together until the day before we were supposed to do it.
Good response, though.
Great response, though. Thanks to you guys. But I mean, as promised, we said that me and Mark were going to do our own show. We're gonna kind of like have a 2-man. We're gonna run a 2-man, in between kind of like BlkPrint episodes, and we welcome you to Overly Conversating.
You know, it's funny. So I got the text last night. You're like, okay, got the name. I was like, when I posted our update for patrons, usually when we do patrons, we'll say, okay, this week on the BlkPrint, here's what we got going on. Either we got a brand new episode coming, we got B-sides coming, or we got bonuses, or we don't got much coming. And we're just going to drop some clips of what has been dropped of the episodes that we've dropped in the past couple of days. On Saturday, I dropped one, a little weekend drop, and I was like, okay, here's what we have coming. There's going to be a new bonus coming. No title. No explanations or anything like that. Yeah. Just going to be us kicking it and talking. Yeah. And then yesterday you were like, all right, I got the title.
Yeah.
Overly Conversating. And I was like, okay, good kickback. Or a good callback to our last show.
If people didn't know, me and Mark's first show that we ever did together was Overly Medicated, which was a Euphoria TV show podcast. A lot, very like cult classic-ish.
What a time.
What a time. Right? We don't know if this show's ever coming back. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'm even going to watch it.
Yeah.
If it comes back.
Yeah, I don't know if I want it. I think there's been more than enough that has shown within the past couple of months.
We good.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, you could. I think you could end it there.
Yeah,
season 2. I don't need to see college Rue. Nah. I don't need to see anything else. I don't need to see Gia graduating high school. I don't need to see any of that. I think I'm all right.
We good. So to bring it back, I'm able to do the show with my mans, and we're able to do it in person in a way that like we weren't able to do before. And we used to do it through kind of like StreamYard and Zencaster and all these like recording apps on the online and stuff like that, and we're able to do it in person. And, we're gonna. I think to me, this show is kind of like, I look at it as kind of like, oh, it's like kind of the BlkPrint aftermath type shit. Like it's like, oh, this is kind of like the after we kicking it. Not to say that we're not like loose pause when Josh is here. Like we're very much like chilling, but this is kind of like me and Mark just getting our shit off.
Yeah, when we're doing BlkPrint, we're in work mode. I think you usually take care of the topics and make sure that everything is flowing the way that it should. Everything flows beautifully on the show. I'm making sure producer-wise that everything video-wise is going the way that it should be on the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little bit nervous because sometimes our choices of video recording are not up to our par or our standards. You know what I realized recently?
What?
There's a lot of people online that have a disdain for COVID-era podcasting. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of sad.
What do you mean, the way that it looks?
Just the way that it's remote. I think for the most part, a lot of people want to watch
two people
podcasts in the same room.
Yeah.
With a nice little cozy couch, ambiance, flowers in the back, a little backdrop.
I don't know I think we've had this conversation. I don't know, like we're planning on having all three of us in the same room. We're planning on having our own set room. Mm-hmm. It's just like getting Josh's schedule down. My schedule is kind of open now. Mark's schedule, he just got here. It's just a matter of getting it together. I was having a conversation with Mark. I've sent him links and shit like that of like podcasts to do the full set. I don't really know what I want it to look like. I really don't. Like what do you guys think? Like let us know. Like if you like any ideas that you have. Like when I think of something like that, remember how the old Howard Sterns used to be, where like Robin was in her own like room. That's what I like think about it like it is now. Like you're like our Robin and you're in your own room just cackling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what I imagine like our show is right now, or what it's like. I think that like having a couch and all this shit, I'm just like, where the fuck are we gonna do that? How are we gonna figure that out?
That's gonna bring a whole different dynamic though. Imagine you're in front of Josh as opposed to on the side of Josh, and Josh is like getting off some of his ideas. And I think the response is just going to be his bits. Yeah, we're still waiting on that comedy. We're still waiting on that comedy set from Josh.
I'm not.
Why not?
Because I already know what he about to be on. What type of time? I know he's in where he's at right now. His work trip. I know he's already thinking of bits. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say. I believe he should be back within the next couple of days. I don't know. I was just telling Mark, I was like, I don't know when he's coming back.
Hey, sometimes you just get a little bit cozy and extend the vacay.
Yeah,
I've never had to extend the vacay because I'm always nervous on what the price is going to be to just extend it by a day. I don't like these flights.
We RNC.
A flight?
Yeah, we RNC.
I'll hashtag we RNC some electronics.
You getting home regardless. You ain't gonna not get home.
But it's damn near paying a whole new flight just to extend it.
Not always.
I feel like, at least in my experience, I feel like that's how it's always been.
When is it? How much has it been for you to extend it? Like, did you extend it when the weekend of my wedding?
So I wanted to.
Yeah.
The first day of Cafe Lou, I was like, I'm not leaving, and I want to do an extra day. It was literally
after Cafe Lou. It was, you know what, man? I need an extra day.
But it was like damn near. It was probably like $40 less than the flight that I paid to get for the round trip.
Oh wow.
Of that flight to go back home to West Palm, and I was like, that's not even close to worth it. I might as well just leave.
Yeah, that's psychotic. That's low key psychotic. I mean, but then again, it was still kind of during that COVID period, and I feel like flights are a little bit. I was able to get a flight back home. I'm gonna go home to go visit some family members next month, and I was able to get a really good round trip flight ticket straight to Virginia, where I'm from.
Okay,
and that's usually never something I'm able to do, but I mean, it's changing a little bit. I saw some Mexico flights that have gone for pretty low. Last year was kind of insane in terms of flights. Like last year was crazy. I feel like a lot of people, even to just get here, to get to Mania last year, a lot of people was like, yo, these flights is crazy. I'm not going to be able to do it.
And speaking of Mania, I was going to have to worry about that flight before I said, okay, let me just stay my ass in Los Angeles, because maybe Los Angeles to Philadelphia after a couple of months of being out here, it's just a little too, it might just be a little much right now. Yeah. So I will be missing the showcase of the Immortals. Shout out to everybody that's going to be in Philadelphia.
I'm having people over for that. That's like my Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's my shit. I know a lot of people do Super Bowl. Well, you know what I did the Super Bowl this year? I was playing fucking was Helldivers out by then? I don't think it was. I was playing something.
I can't remember actually.
I feel like I got Steam open right now. I think I could look at their release date.
My Super Bowl experience.
What was Super Bowl? 26. I was playing something.
Oh, was February 26th? Nah, Super Bowl was before that.
Yeah, I was doing something that weekend. I wasn't even fucking with it. But I mean, as promised, we're here. Originally, this was gonna be like, let's watch something. We're gonna watch something, and I feel like I would have had to tear my hair out trying to get Mark to watch something and then have a conversation with you about it.
It's not anything negative. I don't purposely do it. It just takes me a while to watch things.
Yeah, I did that before with Late Fees. I did that before with a lot of different shows that I've done where we watch a whole franchise, and then I have to go talk about it. And that shit was just very tough for me. I would end up hating it would be my favorite shit. And like we did a James Bond episode of an old podcast that we did called Late Fees. And we watched a bunch of James Bond movies, and I was like, these movies are like marked like 2 hours 40 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Never anything lower than that. We had to watch like 4 of them bitches. Or because it was from every era of James Bonds. And I just showed you just how insane my podcast career has been, because I've just done this type of shit with a full-time job.
Yeah.
Like, which is insane. But I did that, and I ended up not wanting to watch no movies or nothing, no TV, no nothing for the rest of the fucking. And then I still got to watch like wrestling for the week. Like I couldn't do it. I needed my life. So I didn't want to force you to do that. So I was like, let's just fucking talk about the shit that me and you just talk about just on the regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that to me is the most fun.
We talk about some real random ass shit though.
Of course. And I think we bring that up, but I still don't want to step on the toes of Recut Gems. You guys have just like the greatest shit. I was worried about that at first. I was like, I don't want to step on what Mark and A+ have. People really enjoy Recut Gems, but I still feel like people want more Mark content. You know
what's hilarious about Recut? I wish that there was a way to show like the pre-cut gems. The pre-cut gems is just funnier, as good, if not better, than the recut gems, because we have the actual ability to like play music and not have to worry about licensing or anything like that. So Plus and I will just we'll just jump into random decades of rap and just reminisce and talk and not have to worry about getting pulled. And then we do recut, we kind of like reel it back just a little bit. Yeah. But pre-cut gems is where we completely lay it all out on the line.
But that's essentially like where it is in our PSN chats back in COVID.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some funny shit? COVID was a point where like a lot of people was going crazy But I really kept my sanity from two people in this world that I kept my sanity. That was Mark and Cyrus. Those two helped me keep my sanity because like there was nothing in this world that was funnier than us playing Grand Theft Auto 5 from I shit you not 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. at night, literally just straight through. We was just doing marathon runs of just nothing, just screaming at each other, bro.
There would be times that we would try and do heists, and then oh god, I just hate how long it took for us to do the Cayo Perico heist.
That was the newest for all you people who used to play GTA Online and people who don't know. Grand Theft Auto Online has heists just like the regular Grand Theft Auto 5 did, and the most recent one. Well, they know they got a new one out. They came out last week.
Yeah, the Cluck and Bell heist. I was like, I don't even
fucking with it.
I don't even know if I want to ask y'all to play the Cluck and Bell heist.
Why not?
I mean, I still got my bread. I still got plenty of bread.
I'll play it.
You'll play it?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Can we convince Cyrus to play it?
We can't convince Cyrus to do nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cyrus is busy, man.
If he's not gonna, if he just, in a way, like I get it because he's the same as me. Like it's the same. Like if he's not gonna do something if you don't want to do it. Like if he really does not want to do it. Like Cyrus is so deep into the Helldivers bag, but like Cyrus is such a good kind of like team player in games like this. Like I think that when you play games, like you gotta have like a team player, right? You gotta have somebody that's very good at kind of like being like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. You gotta have somebody that's really good at getting the kills and getting like and making sure nobody dies. You gotta have that one person that's kind of like a glue guy. It's like, okay, if somebody's falling short, I'm gonna give him a heal. I'm gonna shoot a nigga in the head real quick. Like this is video games, by the way. I feel like I'm the glue guy of the group at all times. I'm never gonna give you the most kills. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a good off the bench. I think everyone needs to have that friend that's kind of like good off the bench, or that's kind of like what would you call it in basketball? What would you say, like a 3-and-D?
No, glue guy. I mean, if you want to be 3-and-D, you can be 3-and-D.
I think I'm 3-and-D.
I think glue guy is also a good basketball term. You gotta have the try hard, the glue guy. It's always good to have a try. You gotta have a try hard no matter what you're doing. He might get a little upset when things are going haywire.
Yeah.
But the main focus is to stay within the objective of let's either whoop niggas' asses,
yes,
or let's win this game.
I feel like most people would not freely admit that in certain games, okay, like this is what I'm good at. I'm really good at fighting games, right? So like, no doubt about it. Like I'm gonna grind that out. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like a GTA, COD, anything like that, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna hang back and see what this guy's doing, and I'm a support. Now, see what Cyrus would do. He'll be the nigga that'll get you to 50 kills. That'll make it so that you can get the objective done. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be the one that's gonna go ahead and make sure you get all this stuff. That's why I like the young energy that he brings to the squad. That's why we need him to be in the GTA squad, because he's gonna have that energy. Mark, I'm very interested in what you would say your team role is, and I would love for people who are listening to this who have ever played a video game with you would say your team role is in
Grand Theft Auto, or just in games in general?
Just in general, because I feel like we all play the same role in general in every single video game that you played, like at least online.
Depends. I feel like 2K wise, I am
your team leader.
As much as I think that team leading wise, I think I'm doing well with that, but I never want to be the main star. I never want to be the guy that has to do X, Y, Z to do all that. When I make my builds, when I do whatever I do on 2K to try and hop online and do so on and so forth, I'm never making the guy with huge playmaking, big dunks, all that. I try and stay away from point guard, because point guard, I feel like, is so underrated on it being the most important position in basketball, because you have to make sure everybody is fed. Sometimes I just can't do that. Sometimes it's just a little bit difficult. So this year I've had a lot of success being the 3-and-D guy. Just playing defense. Yeah. Staying on the perimeter, doing what I need to do, and I'll shoot my 3-pointers. But I also have been the guy that, gets a little bit, sticks on the rebounds. Okay. Throws to people.
Sweaty.
Yeah. A little bit sweaty. A little bit sweaty from time to time.
You've been sweaty. What in our 3-man on GTA, what was your, because the thing is, I want to hear what you got to say, because I got to give you the truth. What were you in GTA?
I feel like I was the tryhard. Was I not the tryhard in GTA?
You was the try not, bro. You get us killed.
How do I get y'all killed?
Mark, you treated GTA like it was like a fucking Dexter's Lab, nigga. Like, it was a cartoon.
I would have the most shit to get. I would get the most shit to have us protected. How would I get y'all killed?
On the way to the heist, oh man, look at the helicopters. I'm gonna try and go upside down in the helicopter.
That's just having fun. That's just having fun.
Like, come on, man. See, like even Roman coming through. My dog Roman coming through, making sure to tell him.
Am I a try not?
You a try not, Roman? Tell him.
Not Roman. Roman does not think I'm a try not.
You're a try not. Say hi to the camera, Romy.
When it's time to lock in, here, look, Roman, right there. Say hi. Say Mark is not a try not.
He's a try not. There's been so many times, Mark, that I've been like, how did Mark die right there? Especially on some stealth shit. Especially on some shit where we can't get detected. I'll be like, how did Mark die right there?
Well, I will say this. Stealth is not one of my favorite things to do in any game. Okay. When I had to play almost said Left 4 Dead, Last of Us.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to be pretty fucking stealthy. Now I'm gonna have to really think, and then I'm only gonna have to really think. I'm gonna have to think live with other people because people are watching, and I can't be a fucking idiot.
You were streaming Last of Us at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I was streaming part 1 at that time. What was another one? Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think I struggled that much with stealth in Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think I did.
Okay, but in terms of GTA, when it would come down to it, Mark, you're really good at getting the kills.
Yeah,
I think that like you, because like you gotta have a certain killer instinct to be real good at killing niggas in a video game. Like, I'm very much like single player minded. I'm like, let's get the objective done. I'm like, if you don't gotta kill a bunch of niggas, I'm not really gonna kill a bunch of niggas. But like, when you got somebody like a Cyrus in your squad, I love to be able to walk in a room and everybody's dead. I'm just like, perfect. I can just go straight to what the fuck I'm doing. So we have to get Cyrus on the new heist, the Cluck and Bell.
Cyrus sticks to the objective of making sure niggas are dead. I might also do the same because I take my Rockstar and I take my Grand Theft Auto very, very serious. But
no, you don't.
I take it very, very serious.
You take the cosmetic aspects of it serious. You like to get the whips. You like to get the cars. You like to get all of that shit.
You gotta have that. You gotta stunt.
When I first started playing GTA with Mark, this nigga said, there's this mode called passive mode where you can't get shot, you can't get killed. Mark was like, I never played with you before. I'm gonna put it on passive mode because you might try and kill me. There's a legendary clip out of Mark and Cyrus going 1-on-1. And that's, to me, during pandemic, was like the most fun of the whole thing, was watching how Cyrus would try and like sneakily kill Mark just off of no, like there's been times where Cyrus would just kill Mark just for no reason. Just
because Cyrus wanted to throw hands, and I'm like, yo, I'm not you're not murking me in front of everybody right now. I'm not dying, so I'm putting on passive. You're not gonna blow me up.
There's been times I've been in a parachute. This nigga Mark done shot me off the parachute from the sky. For what? For what? It's shit like that. That's try not. That's try not activity.
That's not try not.
That's the haves. That's the haves and the try nots.
That's the having fun. See, look, Cyrus will stick to the objective of killing 30 niggas.
Yeah,
and we are good. I will also kill 30 niggas, but instead of using a gun, I'll throw some grenades.
That's how you be dying. I'll literally be like, how did Mark die right there, bruh? I'll literally be like, after a game, I'll be like, I'm so glad I could just play by myself for a second here. Because this nigga Mark just got me hot, bro.
Niggas don't be having fun,
But we got to do it. Anytime it was a heist and it's a puzzle objective, it's always me. It's always, go ahead and get it.
Oh, yeah. In Cayo Perico, when we had to get in the house and you were like, yo, do the shit where you had to do the puzzle and match the shit. I was like, 5, go in there and do that because I'm not doing this. I'm going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to take 10 minutes to do that shit. But I will watch to make sure that the damn juggernaut is not coming down the street, because as soon as the juggernaut starts coming out, I'm throwing straight nades.
That's crazy.
And making sure that we're good.
That's why I don't. We played COD before. We played Call of Duty before. Together.
Call of Duty with y'all, I thank God that y'all are not tryhards. I'm so glad that we can play and relax.
I'm the most chill player on
playing COD
game.
with chill people. Oh, it's a blessing. Yeah. You can just jump in. It doesn't matter if I get killed 50 times. Doesn't matter if we die or not. I don't have to deal with the passive aggressiveness of what the fuck are y'all doing, man?
That's really how it is online. Online kind of like, remember in like PE class? When niggas would get mad when you wasn't running fast enough. Remember like PE, like basketball, the basketball period? Did you guys do PE like you would do things in a certain like a certain week? It'd be like basketball week, then it'd be wrestling week, then it would be like running week.
Yeah,
or dodgeball week.
There'd be fun weeks. There would be certain weeks like that where we would do different activities. I just remember the biggest thing of PE.
Football?
Yeah, we'd have times we go into football one time. I remember Oh man, there was such a good time. I have this memory ingrained in my head. I forgot what it was because sometimes we would play 2-hand touch, sometimes we would play tackle when they would actually allow us to play tackle. And there was one like game winning like interception that I had. Grabbed the ball. I think it was like the end of recess. Grabbed it and I sold it like how Austin sold the Royal Rumble in 01 where he threw Kane and he was just like, and he held his hand like that. Ingrained in my head. I was like, yes. Fucking did it because I was not the best football guy.
But niggas would get mad in football if you wasn't good at playing football. I'm like, do y'all realize that like there's not a lot like I feel like that mentality carries over into video games too, like on a digital level. Where It's like, nigga, you didn't catch this rebound. I'm like, y'all do know that there's some sort of like randomness in video games where you're not always gonna catch it, like especially in like sports games, especially in like shit like that. It's like you're not gonna catch it. Like people get very serious, and that shit reminds me of like the PE classes where you're just not getting it right.
My biggest moment in PE, one of the biggest moments, at least where I was in Connecticut at the time, the 1 mile run. Do you remember the 1 mile run?
Of course, everybody had to do 1 mile run.
Everybody did 1 mile run, right? Yeah. Do you remember your time?
Here's the thing. I was a fast dude, but if I wasn't interested in it in school, I'm not gonna try. I wasn't gonna try. I tried maybe one time. I was good at the pull-ups. You had to do like 15 because you had to do it by weight, right? So it's like you had to do 15 if you was like 120 or some shit like that. So I did 15 pull-ups. The mile, it was like I was talking to girls during the mile. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would run up to a girl, I would be like, Zoom. Then I see somebody like, what's up? What's happening?
Another try hard doing the 6-7 minutes?
Nah, I was a try not. I was definitely a try not on the mile because a lot of people, like a lot of coaches and shit back in the day, wanted me to be on the basketball team because I was a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Than most people in middle school. And then they wanted me to run because they were like, oh, you're skinny. You could get a lot of fucking aerodynamic, whatever the fuck they were saying.
Yeah.
Back then, and I was just like, I was never interested in it. I was in the debate team in school.
Debate team kind of interested me that freshman year of high school, but then I was like, this is mad work, and y'all go cross country to do all these different things. I don't know if I'm that dedicated. I want to just play video games and kick in real palm.
It's a little bit of studying. It's a little bit of studying involved, but a lot of it is just I love to like how to know. Like how to argue factually, and without emotions.
Yeah,
I feel like that's one of my biggest advantages as I grew up, was being able to have a debate in a way where it wasn't emotional, but it was also fact based, but also know when to just stop debating with somebody because they're not serious about it. So like, I don't ever kind of like take a lot of that shit serious, but I know that a lot of people do. So that's one of my like greatest strengths, is being able to know when to just fold them and be like, all right, I'm not debating with you. You don't even know how to do this shit. Like, that's what it taught me.
A lot of people need that online though.
They don't follow it. A lot of people don't follow that mentality at all, and I think that's why you end up with like strange discourses. Like you get very, very strange discourses online. But to go back to online, me and you watched the video a couple weeks ago. I came over to your house and I was like, man, we're talking about 2K, NBA 2K and shit.
Interesting year for 2K.
And I was like, damn, remember that old EA NBA Live game when the demo came out and it was Lakers versus the Celtics and Jesus Bynum. It was so like, for anyone who doesn't know, back in the day, this was like Xbox 360 or some shit like that, right?
Last couple of years of 360. This was 2011. Yeah. PS4 was 2014.
They both came out the same year.
Exactly.
So there was a demo of this NBA game called NBA Elite.
NBA Elite 11.
Elite 11. And everyone was like, yo, 2K, they were neck and neck. Because right now there's only one basketball game that's like simulated, whatever.
But one basketball game, period.
Yeah, one basketball game.
Fuck sim.
So like it was neck and neck, Electronic Arts and 2K at the time. 2K was still kind of up and coming. Like they was getting them, but they wasn't getting them. It was like, it was 50-50 every time. It was like Live sold a little bit more, 2K sold a little bit more. What 2K got you was the presentation. So the presentation was always on point. They had music. They had, let's be real, they had niggas. Niggas was on the 2K. That's how they kind of like won. They had black people sold up.
Yeah, I think I'm a very, 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 well, yeah, 2004 was 20 years ago. Wow. Yeah. This ended up being one of the last years that 2K, well, one of the only years that they actually did not have a title of 2K. It was called ESPN NBA Basketball. I think it was the one that I got at Blockbuster. And I was like, wow, this game is really amazing. For the most part, yeah. Blockbuster.
Well, how did you feel when you walked into Blockbuster and you walked up to the game case you want it, and there wasn't no game behind it.
You're like, fuck, you gotta wait till next week. Fuck. I mean, I would hate when that would happen when the new shit would. I knew for a fact to not get too happy when the new shit came out.
With the new shit, remember they only let you have the new shit for 1 day or 2 days, but I think they would fluctuate.
Yeah.
Some places will fluctuate. 1 day you can only rent it for 1 day. You gotta take it back. I used to go to the person like, when is this gonna be back? And they were like, well, we got a copy coming in tomorrow, but you got to get here early because when we get it back, you never know. My parents was not taking me back 2-3 times to Blockbuster to make sure. I had to go get fucking, I don't know, Blasto or whatever the fuck was out in the PS1 at that time, bro. Like that shit was the most frustrating shit to me.
Yeah. So the time at the time I got the 2K, well, ESPN NBA basketball at the time, and then as Live is still being the very, very huge household name, they're adding many different things, so on and so forth. It's getting love from music, rappers, entertainment. Most well, we didn't really have social media back then at that time, but for the most pop culture wise, Live was the game. Then we started getting the $20 models, and 2K said, you know what? Hey, let's just drop our games for $20. That
sent niggas into the NBA. Needless to say, NBA and NFL were not happy about their games being sold for $20. Yeah. Which is weird because when you think about it, 2K and EA and anyone who do license in sports, they pay for the license.
Yeah.
So like essentially they're already paid. These sports leagues at the time were already paid. They're not quite as paid as they were now as they were back then because of everything else. And now you have microtransactions and things like that. But they got the money. But I think that there was something, I guess, with the back end or something where like these leagues were not happy with what ESPN 2K was doing. And Madden said, no, fuck that. We're only going to be on EA from now on. But NBA was still, and I think to this day, like if EA wanted to come back, I think NBA would be cool with it, right?
I think this is the 1 year, well, it's been about like 2-3 years or so where people are really, really begging, like damn near pleading for us to have some type of competition. Yeah. As we bring up 2004, there was probably at least a minimum
like four
to five different basketball games that you could choose from, whether it was
arcades, shit,
99 Studios had a game, Nintendo had a game, so on and so forth. There were many, many different basketball games that you could choose from, and they would kind of be a little bit homogenous as far as the features that they had. But one game might have a special feature that you really liked, and another game might have a special feature that you really liked. The $20 model ended up working well for 2K so much that EA bought the license to Madden. We got no more NFL 2K5. In my opinion, the greatest football game of all time. NBA wise, they
do. You know, there's still people who are updating that game, and I'm like, yo, dog, let it go.
Hey,
dog, if you can mod it, go.
Niggas are modding No Mercy. Niggas are modding No Mercy with 2024 models.
That shit can't look good. I know that shit look like some dog shit. You can't even like find that. I got to look at the eBay for NFL 2K5. That's like literally the last, non-Electronic Arts created NBA game for the past decade, almost 2 decades, which is unheard of. Like it's almost like crazy. And I think people, I know there was a case that was put out and it was found that it wasn't a monopoly, and I don't remember why, but I guess it was because of the contract details. But so to go back to 2011, we're talking about this demo that came out for NBA Elite, and it was like, me and Mark say that this is probably like the beginning of like video game streaming discourse, bloopers. Like, like there's a large contingent in video game reporting where it is about the bad stuff.
Yeah.
It is about this is fucked up. This is so crazy how they fumbled the bag. There's literal like stories and video essays about how, certain things failed. I think that this demo was the first kind of like bastion of that, right? Like it was the first time that anyone had ever seen anything like this. Like the guy who recorded it, I forgot his name. He recorded it off his telephone.
Hard 8 times, NBA legend.
Yeah, like he recorded it off his phone into his screen. Like when I was like, no, that's definitely not a capture card. He's definitely he has his phone out.
That's crazy, right? Capture cards in 2011, you had to, at least in my opinion, really be tapped in to
have to be rich
to have a good setup. Like especially when we were kids for me, I'm thinking like we're 15, 16 years old, so that's 06, 07.
Yeah.
None of us are thinking about capture card.
No.
None of us are thinking about, hey, let's record the millions of times that we're playing SmackDown versus Raw 07 and let's tape it for future generations. Now we did tape it on a VHS.
We did.
I have no idea what those VHSs are.
That was the first capture. And we talk about like the videos and the highlight clips we got of us on GTA.
Yep.
That was not possible back in the day. So like that's just how monumental this was in 2011.
Mm.
He plays this game. It's like a 5-minute long like demo, 5-minute long video. Really,
yes, fourth quarter.
He doesn't even finish the quarter. He turns the game the fuck off. He's having control issues. He's sitting on types. He's like all types of shit is happening. He can't move the fucking game. And mind you, there had been reports of this game being a disaster throughout that day that it came out. But this was the video, and to tell you, Mark, I don't know how this video spread on YouTube. This was like pre-YouTube. You can't even go higher than 240p on this shit on YouTube. You can't even see it in high definition.
I think it's at 800,000 views right now, which is probably a re-upload because it definitely should be at least 8 million.
Like this is a class. So at one point, the demo was so fucked up that when you're making models in a video game, a lot of the models have to be created off of a template. And then the template, and if you're not watching on YouTube, why are you not watching YouTube? But I'm going to do the example for those watching on audio is of your hands out, like you're flying away.
Just hit a Huey, pop, lock, and drop it.
Yeah, like your hands are just dropping down again. You're legal on before you drop down. Like your hands are out, right? So they call this a T-pose. It's affectionately called a T-pose. But it affectionately was called Jesus Bynum, named after Los Angeles Lakers center Andrew Bynum, who was stuck in the T-pose when the guys were coming back on defense. Center court. He couldn't, which means that there was something that went terribly wrong with this demo within the programming of it, which caused that issue to happen. People started recreating this, the Jesus Bynum moment. It happened to everyone. EA had to pull the demo, and then the game got canceled, didn't it? It got outright canceled, right?
NBA Elite 11 was canceled. They tried to come back with Live 12. That got canceled. I think it got canceled all the way up until, if I recall,
it was like 19 or something.
Live 14. It had Kyrie Irving on it. And
wasn't Harden on the last one?
19 had Joel Embiid on it. Harden was on one of them, if I recall. I just remember 14 with Kyrie Irving, and I bought Live because I felt really bad. Elite 11, for the most part, Elite 11 did a really large amount of damage EA-wise. For the most part, before that video, I think most of those complaints and things like that you would see specifically on forums. Yeah. If you go to like an Operation Sports.
That's how it spread.
Exactly. And you would have like a post of it, and they'd be like, you guys won't believe what the fuck just happened. Oh my God, my shit just blew up. And it would just
you just gonna have to trust me, bro.
Exactly. You'd have nothing physical, proof-wise to be like, okay, this shit is fucking up. Yeah. Until you get a game like Elite 11 from EA, who is now trying to specialize their game into a much different control base than they had in the previous years. They had success with Live 10. Yeah. Live 09, I think, is one of the greatest lives that they had released at that time. I played a lot of Live 09. But 2K is now slowly climbing up the ranks, especially with 2K10. 2K10, Kobe Bryant on the cover was a huge moment for 2K to the point where
they had the locker that year. They had the Kobe locker.
Yep, the Kobe locker. Yeah. They had a lot of different gameplay. The teams were nice, especially in 2010 because the storyline, the NBA storyline, obviously has ended up being really good. So now you're getting a lot less separation between 2K and Live. That now EA is trying to think of ways to separate themselves from 2K because 2K is about to have their greatest pull of all time, their greatest summer of all time, as they announce not only is 2K11 coming out in October, but after 20 plus years of not having the biggest athlete in NBA history because he didn't really agree with a lot of the licensing at that time in the 90s and video games, and it wasn't really a huge moment for video games to try and pull somebody in like that at that time. Now you have Michael Jordan in pristine condition for the first time in 2K11. So now EA's sweating.
I'm not a sports guy. I bought NBA 2K11 that year because it had Michael Jordan. Yeah,
huge moment.
Ends up being one of the highest grossing sports games of all time. I think to this day it's still like in the top 10, I think. I gotta look that up, but it was crazy. Like I want to talk about this like within optics of just like a marketing sense, because I think a lot of people love to like hear about the way that these types of things kind of trickle down, especially like things that I've learned. It's like there is no crisis comms big enough that could have fixed that. Like there was none, because you have a fucked up game that you had to cancel, and this is just products in general. You have a fucked up product that you have to cancel. Then your competitor says, "Oh shit, we got fucking Taylor Swift in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the equivalent of what happened there.
Mhm.
And they never recovered from that shit. Like the games just considerably got lower and lower sales. But here's the thing though, Mark. There was a lot of EA Live guys that were still saying, y'all are sleeping on this game. Y'all keep playing 2K. I mean, like there were people back in the day that was like, y'all keep going to that 2K shit. I'm telling you, you're gonna miss Live when it's gone.
And everybody's like, fuck yeah. Because here's the thing. After 2K11 blows everybody's expectations out the fucking water, they come out in 12 and say, you liked Michael Jordan? Wait till we give you Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird for the first times in a long time. And they said, you know what? On top of that, we're going to let you play the modes. We're going to let you go back into the 1960s and play some black and white damn games between Jerry West and Bill Russell. I was like, oh, fuck, this is fucking amazing. So they double up on that. 2K13 comes. Oh, y'all liked all those legends, huh?
Yeah.
By the way, we got Jay-Z doing our soundtrack. Oh, my.
That was the wackest to be done. That's when I was like, they pandering a little bit too much to niggas. Y'all was falling for it, though. Well,
I like the soundtrack, but I think if I recall correctly, my 2K knowledge, because sometimes I'm getting a little bit old, 2K13 was the first time. They're like, okay, guys, there's some new things you can do in the game. We're going to put it around this little new model that we have called VC. You're going to need some VC to do this, and do this. And it wasn't really the worst thing in the world at the time.
But here's the thing, and this goes for all the ladies in the that's listening too, if you've gotten this far. VC is what your man is asking for. That's their Fortnite bucks.
Yes, by all means.
That's the men's version of the Fortnite bucks. You evolve from the Fortnite dollars to the VC.
These days, more than likely, if you have a significant other in your life and they play 2K, you have caught them hours on end building what online has referred to as building the perfect man. I can't say it's a lie. Sometimes most people are getting their builds right. Sometimes they're building what they'd like to look like in their own personal lives. Tattoos on the neck, nice clothes, nice
tattoos
sneakers,
on the neck is a crazy thing to single out.
Tattoos on the back. You know, sometimes you are actually building your perfect avatar, I guess you would say. But the difference between 2013 and 2024 is not only price of the VC, but also the purpose of the VC and how much VC has now controlled a large amount of the things that you do online, that I think in 2024, 2K is in a very, very interesting place of what they're going to do with a lot of the backlash that they are receiving. I think NBA wise, there's a lot of different conversations, and we don't necessarily have to call it backlash. I think there are many different creators in YouTube right now, or Twitch, or wherever it is you watch your creators that play these games, that are not trying to just hop online, bash a game, say everybody shouldn't be playing this, it's toxic, it fucking sucks. There are actually people that have valid points on where things have changed for this game and for this franchise, that now we are at a point where we are pleading for competition to come back. So although we dissed Live in 2014, I think just having their presence in the basketball place right now is make it a lot
competition.
different.
You need. I'm mad. Well, EA's got their own shit. You know what I'm saying? They got their own shit with them in terms of FIFA and how they're getting litigated for shit like that. NBA 2K didn't you just have to agree to basically get robbed by these niggas in order to play the game, Mark?
And there's new terms that are very, very controversial to people. There are now modes where we can't, I mean, not necessarily modes, but now we have signed off on a new licensing agreement when you have to play the game or else you can't play the game at all. So you can't sue 2K if certain things
change.
Happen. And certain things happen. It's a very big controversy that a lot of people are now very frustrated to the point that 2K can charge XYZ for these games and then turn off the servers in 2 years. Whereas if I wanted to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 360, servers are up. Yeah. You might be playing with 10 people throughout the world, but the servers are up if you really wanted to go back and play that 360 version of Modern Warfare 2.
And they still calling you a nigger all the same.
Yeah.
They still talking about your mom. There's still a baby in the background. It's that same baby. He hasn't grown up yet. It's been 10 years.
It's still in the drawer. Where they have the baby in the drawer.
Yeah, he's still right there. or somebody shut the fuck, and then they go silent because they took the mic on mute.
Absolutely not. But that's the people's frustrations. I think that there are actual things. Just gameplay aside, you can have your own opinion on the gameplay and everything that you want to do. I think
I don't play these games, so like I can't call it. I hear you guys complain about it all the time. I always gotta ask.
I don't think I've seen too many games that people are actually pulling up quarterly reports.
Yeah.
And saying, yeah, guys, if we spend half as much money on VC as we did last year, it's gonna cut their profits by 10 million.
Yeah, nobody's doing that.
And that's where we're gonna get them. I don't think I've ever heard this spoken for a video game.
Nobody's voting with their wallet. I think that what happens is with things like that, something cooler has to come out. Like, I mean, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be like less people. Like, if we could look on Twitch, I have fucking had Twitch open. Hold on, let me see. If we look at Twitch and see where 2K is on the rankings, right?
As far as people that are streaming, I think it's going to be hard to pry people away to a new game. I thought that was going to be what it would be like for me in Apex Legends, but after a couple seasons, I just dropped out of Apex, and I thought that would never be me because I would always love this game and so on and so forth. But after a while, you just get tired of playing it.
My shit is so fucked up that my 2K would never come across my list. But
there it is.
Where is it?
Right there.
Where?
That row.
Oh,
right
2K.
there. Yeah.
5,000 people are playing 2K right now. That can't be good.
I mean,
that can't be good.
People. I think this is an interesting year that 2K can take a look at what the community is saying and realize that there are literal frustrations. I think as much as gameplay,
you look at Helldivers, it's 21K,
21,000.
Yeah, like that's not even at nighttime yet. People ain't even woke. You look at other things up here that's getting more. It's like I think that essentially you look at it and it's like, I mean, even the new Final Fantasy games got more, and that's like a single player game.
Yeah,
that I wouldn't think would be good to watch on Twitch, and people are watching that shit.
Yeah, and there's a very different. It's two different sides of people that are trying to make sure that they are making sure that they're well in their critique of 2K. There are the people that are just trying to get clicks, just say, oh my God, 2K is over, bash 2K, we can't wait for live. And there are the people that are literally trying to look at this and be like, hey, maybe we should take a conversation on gambling in video games, because now I think it's just getting a little bit much. And
how much do you pay for in VC
this year?
A year, yeah.
So this year, big shouts out to Cornell. He assisted with making sure that I could actually get 2K without having to deal with the pricing of it, because that's also another big talking point. I think for the most part online, people that play 2K a lot and actually have not much of a qualm in buying VC would feel a lot better about this if there wasn't AAA pricing on this game.
Yeah.
If you did want to say, okay, you have to do all this to buy VC, create a player, get online, battle other people that are also 99s and up,
yeah,
and have as much fun as you want, I think people would feel just a percentage better about it. So if you did not have to pay $70 or $150.
I can't just jump into, like me, I can't just jump into 2K with my own character and be like, oh, I want to play other people. You can't do that.
You're going to have a bad time, I think.
I have to go in and play like with teams that are like created already. I have to play exhibition online or some shit, right?
You can do that, and you could build up your player by yourself if you wanted to. Play your career games, be on a team, go to the playoffs, win an NBA championship. By all means. I think the fun in a lot of my career is being online, and I don't think that's a negative. I don't think that's necessarily a stretch to say. I don't think it's, well, you guys are complaining about this thing where you can actually just do what you want if you really wanted to. There's a lot of fun and there's a lot of incentive that 2K gives in being online, into having a great player, into having friends and playing online with them, whether it's rec, park, stage, all of the different modes that they provide. To do that, it's extremely hard to do that without any money spent. Now, you can do a quote unquote no money spent mode if you really want to and play my team, because I think as a great silver lining, this might be the one year that they're giving away enough incentives in my team for no money spent to actually feel good. I feel like for the most part, what is it? March? Middle of March? You probably have a good pink diamond, opal type
I don't
team.
know what none of that even means. So it's like, these are the levels of skill?
Levels of cards. So there'll be like 98 overalls, 97 overall cards really strong cards, nice cards.
But what's killing me is that Madden also does this.
Yep.
You know
Ultimate Team does it. What is it now? EAFC. They have their own Ultimate Team mode. And there's different levels of gambling in between it. And I think those that play FIFA or EAFC also want to have a talk about gambling as much as people that want to play Madden Ultimate Team do so. But for the most part, there are players of those games that back them up a little bit and say, well, you don't really have to do that. All you got to do is play the mode and blah, 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 which is also true in my team. But the huge, amazing, powerful cards that are also on there, you are not getting unless you gamble.
Yeah.
If you spend the points that you have as far as what you had played on there, or if you put your $20 in and actually spend something, you actually end up getting something. But there's a problem with that because this is a game rated E for everyone.
Yeah,
there's
kids playing
7-year-old, 8-year-old kids that are asking mom, "Hey, can I get $20 to try and get this level 100 Michael Jordan because it's fucking Michael Jordan?"
They scratching their neck, "Mom, I need these Jordans."
At what point do people want to? At what point can we really discuss this? Which makes it even harder to discuss it when we're now agreeing to a license that says we can't sue 2K because of XYZ. So I think this is a interesting year that 2K has to take a look at the real conversations of the community. It's not, oh, my ball's getting stolen. Oh my God, I got a 92 steal. Why is my shit getting stolen? That gameplay is never going to, I think gameplay wise,
it's random.
That combo's never going to end.
Yeah, like, cause there's a sense of randomness to it that keeps you playing. It's like they have to keep the game. I've always heard of there being like a incident like type programming in games where it's like, you need for crazy fucked up shit to happen for it to be exciting and for you to have that moments because they want you to keep talking about it. Like psychologically, that's how you retain a player. You know what I'm saying? A player is not going to leave if that happens to them. They're going to keep trying, or they're going to run it back mad, but they're still going to run it back again. Like, because it's to retain you essentially. So like, I think that is like, that's interesting. I again, like, everybody's doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but I just think that it's interesting that like that was the beginning of that type of discourse. But 2K's never had anything that fucking broken. So that's why nothing like something like that has to happen, Mark, for this shit to get reset. There has to be the Jesus Bynum moment for NBA 2K to have the changes that you want implemented. I've just got to be real. Unless
2K really doesn't give a shit when it just ends up porting something out. But at this time, I mean,
they're still presentation wise, they're still the slickest, cleanest games that you'll ever come across. I look at those games and I'm in awe of just the incremental things they do every single year to look good.
But I think about that, and I think about how I felt between the difference of PS3 and PS4 compared to PS4 and PS5. I think when 2K14 was introduced,
that was next level.
That trailer was mind-blowing. They had LeBron James
sweating
sweating and talking. They had his
sweat wasn't even in the game. That's the crazy part about it.
And they had it stretched out. This is a pre-alpha build of 2K14 and it looked mind-blowing. I think between PS4 and PS5, I couldn't even tell you how I felt looking at the PS5 version of the game, because I think for the most part we've hit a ceiling as far as 2K graphics. And that's not necessarily to say we've hit a ceiling as far as PlayStation 5 graphics, because I've been blown away by a lot of PS5 titles. But with 2K, you have to think of how many things that they're trying to do to try and make this game a little bit more mobile. As we brought up My Team, they just released My Team, the entire mode, not a stripped down mode of it, not a mobile client. The actual mode that's on PS5 is now on mobile.
Wow.
So how far is it going to be that you have now a mobile? You pretty much, for the most part, people are categorizing this game as essentially a mobile game, because now the PS5 game that you have is now on mobile, but you're charging us $70 to pay for it, and then you want VC. So now you're asking us to pay $70 for essentially a mobile game.
Is it for people to play the game on the go, right?
Okay. Backbones and the PlayStation joint that they have and so on and so forth, which is great. But I think people would feel a lot better if this was a game that you did not have to pay for, and you just go ahead with your VC in top of that time, as opposed to trying to tell people that this is a AAA title.
I'm not gonna lie, I pay a lot in microtransactions a year in video games. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think one of the biggest.
What's your biggest transaction that you've made? Was it for a skin?
Money wise,
like for a skin?
like for a skin, for an actual skin, I paid maybe $10 for a Street Fighter 6 skin, because that's how much they cost.
Now,
but it's a game I know I'm gonna be playing for years though.
Yeah.
So like essentially, it's not. And Street Fighter 6 isn't incremental. So like Street Fighter 6 is going to be around for 7 years.
I'm gonna tell you right now, $10 and get you shit. Ain't get you shit in 2K.
And that's the thing that's crazy is that like we're comparing these two. They're both morally wrong, right?
Yeah.
It's like we shouldn't like. You're looking at the $10 for a costume saying like, damn, you're not gonna get. I wouldn't get shit for that in 2K. That's actually a deal.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like fuck. Like this shit was $10, but I want to have my character looking cool, and there's a sense of expression there. So like you'll pay for expression the same way you'll pay for a hat. Or you'll pay, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. It's like I think it's one of the biggest advantages I had when I was working at Riot is that we had like a fund, like a expense for just video game shit. So like for the past 2 years, I haven't paid for no microtransactions because I would just expense it. I charge it to the game. Now I'm like paying for it myself. I'm like, fuck, I was spending a lot in microtransactions for the past 2 years. It's like it's costumes and it's like it's nothing as big as VC. So like I've never done anything as big as like that much for some video game points. But like if it's like a season pass, I'll buy a season pass for games that I don't even play like that often. Mm-hmm. Like remember I would get on Apex with y'all for a day.
You pay that $9.99,
and I would pay the $9 just so I could check it out. Like I would just do that. Like Fortnite, I got into that like last year. Mm-hmm. I played it a little bit again, and I was having fun. I paid for maybe like 2 seasons of it. You know what I'm saying? But like it's never that huge. But also it's also like something that people have to think about. It's like people have kids, like you said. It's like people have things to do, and it's like it's a sense of FOMO. It's really a sense of FOMO because it's like to your point. If you don't pay for it, you get to play a stripped down version of it.
Or you just play other modes that people aren't playing. Exactly. Not many people are playing, hey, let's play 1v1. You pick the Celtics, I pick the Lakers. Their
favorite creators got the build and all that shit. Their favorite creators are opening up cards. On the biggest thing to do is to watch these motherfuckers open cards on Twitch and see what they get and see them rage. I put it in quotes because these niggas aren't really mad, but seeing them rage when they don't get what they want.
There was a nigga that they just dropped a very controversial week too. They dropped a level 100 Wilt Chamberlain, or it might have been
for the anniversary.
I fucking know, Kevin Garnett or something like that. But yeah, I think it was around like for the anniversary time. The card drops. People online, because people are really tapped into these modes. If I could say one thing about the 2K community, there are a lot of people that are really tapped into the nooks and crannies of these right now, and that can either be positive or negative. Because 10, 15 years ago, all that we really had was really Operation Sports and the few people that played the game to that level of wanting to converse about it like that. Now there's kids that just copped into the year 4 years ago, big members of the 2K community, being able to talk about everything that happens. Level 100 Wilt Chamberlain drops. Somebody tweets, that's interesting. Only a couple people in the world the past couple of days have unlocked the Wilt Chamberlain. They're all 2K next makers. How'd that happen? And then a person that I watch on YouTube, Troy Dan, ends up a big 2K streamer, goes online. He's like, all right, I'm going to try and pull level 100 Wilt. I'm going to spend at least $2,000-$3,000 on packs. I'm going to open up 600 packs until I get Wilt Chamberlain. He opened up 600 packs. He probably got 10 opals out of those thousands of cards that he now has. No Wilt Chamberlain. He said he deleted the game. I was like, he's fucking lying because he's going to be back tomorrow.
Here's the thing. They deleted the game. They already won.
Exactly.
They won.
Exactly. He's like, okay, I'm not coming back.
Them niggas got their bonus for the year. Exactly. Shout out to them. Exactly. Shout out to them. And shout out to them for that.
What killed me is people now online going, we don't got to worry about Troy Dan. He's probably writing it off as a tax expense because that's part of his job. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's nuts to me.
He's not really mad.
That's nuts to me. The creation online is something that blows my mind.
But it works hand in hand. Like influencers and shit like that, they work with the developers. He probably got something better than that shit because that type of shit don't really matter. Ultimately, it's like it's like an NFT.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting kind of into like the business aspect of this, but it's like, again, you're like, this is something that like when you look at it on face value, I look at it as like, fuck, I just paid $10 for a Street Fighter 6 outfit. But I also look at it as I know how much games cost to develop. Mm-hmm. I know how much licensing costs. Mm-hmm. I know how much all that shit is. I know how much my bonuses were.
Yeah.
And that was help from skins people bought for League of Legends.
And then on top of that, I know for a fact that no matter what people try and do to be like, let's spend 10% less on VC and let's get Take-Two down. When Grand Theft Auto 6 drops, we're going to the fucking moon.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna tell you that 1,000%.
Listen, I need to get in. I need to get in. Not only just because I wanna be part of that, but I wanna like that bonus about to be nuts.
Grand Theft Auto. I'm just thinking of what I'm about to do in Grand Theft Auto 6. Fuck all that. To know that I'm gonna play South Florida now is mind blowing.
Listen, we're gonna talk a lot about GTA 6 in the coming months. But what I wanna leave you with, Mark, is something that I want to touch on next time because I want to get some guests to talk about this.
Okay.
And I just gotta, and I'll leave it up for you to see this because we're going there next time. We touched on it a little bit on BlkPrint, but we're fully going there on this show.
What in the fuck is that right now?
Yes. We're going there.
Oh man, there is
the Twitch meta. The Twitch meta. We're going there. The Twitch meta. You would have thought I clicked in something else.
She has I'm just gonna say, the comments are really interesting about that. The comments are really interesting about that because I think as much as some things get corny on how men discuss a lot of the things that they talk about online.
Yeah.
A little bit of concern that I think has a small amount of merit.
Yes, especially with what I just showed you. Here's the thing. We got it. We used to see stuff like that on the internet, but it was never as easy as me just clicking two things and it just appearing.
Yeah.
So next time on Overly Conversating, we're going to talk about the Twitch meta and some of our favorite Twitch personalities, and I want to get some guests on. So when we're back, we're going to be talking, we're going to be shooting more shit. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of shit. But thank you guys for listening and watching the first episode of Overly Conversating. A new episode of the BlkPrint coming very soon. Episode of the Throwblacks is coming as well as soon as Josh gets back.
Yep.
A new episode of Recut Gems is coming. We also, we're gonna record another episode of Triple Beam.
Okay.
I think it's official.
Look at that.
Yeah, I think it's official. The boys, they want to go back at it. Oscars just ended, so you're gonna get another episode. We're gonna give them another one.
Okay.
We're gonna give them another one. So make sure you listen for that. Listen, we're rolling. The network's rolling.
Damn near dropping multiple times a week.
I'm sorry, Mark.
I mean, it's okay. I'm just finding new ways of having to deal with this. But the more content that's coming out for all the listeners, the better. So that's the best part.
Thank you guys for listening to Overly Conversating. We'll be back. When should we do this? When should you come back? We haven't even talked about that.
It's a good question.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then when we come out that time, we'll be like, oh, we're going to be out on this. But also what we need from you guys, we need anyone, just send us any questions, send us in any topics you guys want us to talk about. We got a supersized episode coming up of the BlkPrint, including B-sides. If you're not tapped into the Patreon, make sure that you drop the $5 to get that special episode. It's going to be a pretty lengthy episode. We're going to be talking about everything on BlkPrint as well as what we talk about on B-sides as well. We're going to be taking questions from our listeners. Mm-hmm. So if you're a listener, drop a comment in our YouTube, drop a comment in our Patreon, drop a comment to me on Twitter, Instagram, drop a comment to Mark, anywhere that you see fit. And we're going to talk about it on the show. So for Mark, I'm Justin. We'll see you guys next time on the show. Peace.